Hi, guys. Hope you're doing well this evening. It's Sheila and Fred with Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures and Sheila and Fred Investigates. We changed it up a little bit.
We changed those initials around because of the Sebastian Rogers thing. There's actually an investigator out there called SF,
Mm-hmm.
and ours was FS.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't want people getting us confused with each other because he's got good publicity and he's got some bad. So we'll just change ours to Fred and Sheila Investigates.
That's right.
Really, if you want to find us on YouTube, you have to go to Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures. We initially called it that because we were redoing Hatfield McCoy history and research.
Right.
The families and mothers Hatfield McCoy Museum.
Right.
And then Sheila and I figured when we retired, we'd be going on adventures, which we haven't done many of them yet.
No, not yet anyway.
But every time we get a vehicle, it breaks down on us. So, guys, you can look at the background and tell once again, I hope you guys watch these videos. I know, guys, there's some people out there that don't like guns, don't believe in guns. Please just watch one of our videos. Even if you hate guns, watch one and see if we can convince you otherwise, or at least to be open-minded. Gun owner or victim.
Yeah.
Select one. Don't wait. Don't wait till the latter one happens and you're a victim and then say, well, I think I'll start carrying a gun. Maybe too late. Maybe too late for one of your family members then or anything. We're going to play a video in a minute. You know, Sheila and I have said for years that teachers and different people, they need to have guns. Why is all of our schools and churches always the ones that get attacked, and especially our younger children?
Yeah.
We were going to do this video, and we've done 2 or 3 other videos throughout on carrying and self-defense and so forth. And we've never tried to plug because we don't sell any books now. Sheila and I wrote several books over the years on things that's dear to us or we thought we could help people on. And I went ahead and brought that one up there, but we wrote that several years ago. And I went through it just now and I marked some of, I don't know if you can read that or not, but
I can try to put one at the end if you want.
Some of the pages as we go through that we're going to cover on. We don't have the book for sale anymore. I don't even know how many we've got. You have to order them in so many, and we just couldn't afford to do it after the first order, but I don't even know how many's down there. We sold that book for $39.99 and $6 shipping and handling to wrap it, and postage is probably that now, to be honest.
Yeah,
it used to cost about $3 or $4. Now I'd say and then the taxes on it. So again, we're not trying to plug this book, but as I was looking through it, I'm thinking, goodness sakes, if one person learned something from that book that they didn't know or saved their life, it would be worth it. So if you decide you might want a book, $39.99 plus $6 for shipping and handling, plus whatever the taxes are on that. I'll have Sheila put that to main back when she gets everything added up, what the 6% tax is on that.
Okay.
And if you want one, she'll put the address and stuff at the end, and you can order your book. Everything that we're going to go over now and so much more. The book consists of 379, almost 400 pages. Almost 400 pages. I think it's 389 pages. A lot of material in 389 pages. It's got some pictures, some drills that we do. And guys, what this video is about, Sheila and I, in fact, it's in the book, and we've said for years and years and years, why, instead of outlawing guns on school property and inside schools, why don't school teachers carry? School employees, janitors, principals, custodians. You ever seen that movie, Steven Seagal, the cook? Wasn't he a cook in the Navy? He was a cook in the Navy for discipline. He's one of the toughest guys they had in the Navy. Cooks, they hire people that's out of the military, that's being cooks. They hire different police officers, retired, and go to schools and become janitor, custodians. When I was in school as a janitor. Guys, I'm going to tell you, one of the funniest memories in my life. We're in no hurry on this video, so you guys will just have to. One of the funniest memories in my life, I used to go around and Sheila would invite me to her class or Ella to hers and so forth, kindergartners as a police officer, and I'd be decked out in uniform and look like a police officer and go in there and tell them about being a cop. And, every time I ever went, it was always these kids, they'd be looking at your baton or your taser or your pepper spray, especially your gun and handcuffs. Handcuffs was always number one. They wanted to see handcuffs. But I was in Sheila's class one day talking to these children, and here's my keys. Now, I've got keys on top. I got keys that goes to keys, plus a whistle and dog tags and Marine Corps emblem, dog tag. And my keys was on my belt. That's where I carried them. And I'm in Sheila's class, and she had one of the rambunctious. There's always one.
There's always one.
I think that was me when I was in school. I think I was that one.
Oh, no.
And this little boy hollers out, and all these kids are wanting to see handcuffs and different things. And this one little boy hollers out and he says, "Oh, my Lord, he's got more keys than the janitor." So when I thought about janitor just now, it hit me about that key story. And that was, I almost couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, my, he was.
That little fella, that was the funniest thing.
He was sincere. I mean,
yeah.
That's a child for you.
Yeah. He wasn't concerned about handcuffs or nothing else. He's got more keys than the janitor.
They probably thought you had a key to everything there in town.
Yeah. So this video, guys, Sheila and I have said for years that teachers, retired people that work at schools, or Sheila's one of the best shots. She used to go out and shoot with us. I was a police firearms instructor for several departments, especially when I worked for the sheriff's department in Lincoln County. And we would set up different scenarios, shooting behind cars. And I mean, we'd have drills and invite other police agencies to come and shoot with us at that time. And Sheila would shoot with us, and Sheila's one of the best, if not the best.
I don't know about that.
Really was.
Okay.
Sheila's always been a good shot. Can you imagine Sheila at a school and it be legal for her to have her weapon on her and something happened? What better protection would those children have in her classroom than that? Now, over the years, now that Sheila's retired, but over the years, Sheila, you got to have something in there. If somebody comes in a room, I know you lock your doors. I know you all get in corners. I know you have these drills.
Right.
The thing about these school shootings, guys, it's the same children doing the shootings that grew up in those schools. They know what it's like to have a
routine,
a lockdown.
Yeah.
They know the routine.
Yeah.
Lock the door, go get in the corner, everybody hide, be quiet, and all this and that. I made Sheila put her a ball bat, carry her a ball bat. She had to put her a glove and a ball in there with it to act like it was for sports. In case somebody come in, they say, "Oh, what are you doing with a ball bat?" "Oh, that's when we go out on recess." Same way with your car. If you want to carry some protection besides a firearm, I don't know why you would, but stick you a ball bat. Now it's considered a billy club or a deadly weapon in some states by itself, but throw you a ball and a baseball glove in there with it. Now you've got you some protection legally. Got a can of Hornet spray. We've done a video on it. Go way back through our videos and look at that can of Hornet spray that they make that shoots 20 feet. It'll shoot 20 feet, a straight line.
Yeah.
Better than pepper spray, better than a taser.
Hot shot?
Hot shot. I believe that's what it is. I was trying to look and see if we usually have some around, but
yeah, it's over there.
We carry a can in the glove compartment of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Every car we got or had, we used to have the other Hummer. We sold it for the bus, but we've got the hot shot.
Mm-hmm.
We fixed a little thing for her door so she could slide up underneath her door that would jam so nobody could, even if they got the lock open, the door wouldn't open. Anything we could do to protect her and her children in her classroom. Same way with our daughter.
Exactly.
You can just do so much.
Yeah.
What if they come in anyway? What better place to have a person with some protection? And we've said this for years. Let's show the video, and I'll show you what I'm getting to, because Sheila and I have said this for years. Now, look what the President of the United States just said.
Yeah. This is interesting.
We know that this country has a huge problem with school shootings. You said that you were open to sending the National Guard pretty much anywhere. Would you ever consider sending an armed National Guardsman to every school?
Well, we have a big problem with school shooting, but we also have thousands and thousands of schools that run perfectly. You know, they talk about you can do things construction-wise, and that's really, I think nobody knows more about construction than me. You can build the construction doors. You can build what they call safety doors, where they lock on the outside, the inside, and every place else. Well, but if one of these lunatics happens to get through, then the police can't get in. Then they're looking for keys all over the place, and it takes a lot of disadvantages to doing, spending billions and billions of dollars and actually making it safer in some way for some of these lunatics that we're dealing with. But I don't think so. I've thrown out the concept. We have great teachers that love our children. The parents love the children. Teachers love the children too. And if you took a small percentage of those teachers that were in the military, that were distinguished in the military, that were in the National Guard, et cetera, and you let them carry. That's something that a lot of people like. I sort of liked it. It'd have to be studied, but they're trained. They know about weapons. You can't do it with every teacher because most teachers don't know, and But I always thought that would be an alternative.
Hey guys, that was the president, and he's saying exactly the same thing and that Sheila and I've said for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Why not put these people in school that's armed? The ones that want to be, the ones that have prior firearms training or want to take advanced firearms training. Not everybody. Everybody wouldn't want to.
Right.
But there would be some that's qualified and could do it. Of course, they'd get extra pay for the teachers or employees, school employees, custodians, cooks, whoever that decided to do that. They would get supplemental pay because they've got to go twice a year and be recertified. Firearms training, qualification, shoot, clean, all the things you need to do. Periodically, there'd be an inspection where somebody would come through and check to make sure their guns are secure, their weapons. I better not say that word too much on there. They'll flag it. But there would be extra pay for the people that wanted to do that. It'd be worth their while. Not only could they save our children's lives and teachers and employees, but they'd receive extra pay, which would be well worth it. We've got air marshals that carry guns, police officers, when they go through the proper channels, carry their firearm on airplanes. Where could it be more dangerous to carry a firearm at that you shoot and decompressurize the plane and everybody is in trouble? Where could it be more dangerous? We have people that does that. We have police officers that carry them. We have. It doesn't take a genius to be able to be armed and armed safely. They could have hotel safes, Sheila.
Yeah. And only the teacher, principal, whoever
have the combination.
Can have the combination to it. and it would be safer for the children.
If they didn't want to carry it on them, have a safe up high in the classroom where the teacher, either fingerprints or the combination where she or he would go get the weapon if they needed it.
Right.
If they didn't want to carry it on them.
And no one knows it's there except for that person.
Now, there's ankle holsters. Sheila and I both carry ankle holsters. Ankle holster, you get used to it. The only time ankle holster is a problem after you've worn it for a while is if you forget it or something happens, you feel naked. That's the only time that it causes a problem is when you don't have it.
Yeah.
Gun owner or victim. Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Yeah.
Ankle holsters. Fanny packs. They make holsters. Sheila used to, when we taught carry concealed, they make a holster that goes on your bra. They make
called a flashbang.
Goes onto your
garter. They make a garter that if you're like wearing a dress, that you can slide that in there and undetected that way. So that's pretty cool.
A man pulled a knife on a lady and asked her, "Would you die for your friends or family?" He's pulled a knife on her. He's telling her, "Don't try to jump in. Would you die for your friends or family?" The lady pulled her gun from under her shirt and said, "No, but I would kill to protect them." The man run off. You and I got a lot of true stories in this book. That's about the author, some of our qualifications, some of our knowledge.
Right.
When guns are outlawed, only outlaws will have guns. Everybody knows that one. You've heard that since it's a kid, and people thinks that was just a slogan or just a bumper sticker or just no, that's actually true. When guns are outlawed, only outlaws will have guns. I saw another one in here where we used to have where the two guys were going in to rob a bank, got their mask on, got their guns. They get up to the door and they got the carry concealed, the gun with the circle around it with the line through it. No guns allowed. And they look at each other and say, "Well, I guess we just have to go back home." Like that really happens. No, that just gives them confidence that they're the only ones going to be in there that's got a bang bang.
Yep, they're the only ones prepared.
Making good people harmless making good people helpless won't make bad people harmless. Just because you take the good people's protection, it just makes them helpless.
It really does.
The bad guy is still going to go. Why do they go to churches? I'm getting ahead of myself, but why do they go to churches? We just had a church shooting here in Lexington a couple weeks ago. We did a video on it. Why do they go to churches and to the schools? You know, guys, back in 1996 is when the carry concealed law passed here in Kentucky. 1996, Kentucky citizen, upon meeting certain legal requirements, could obtain a permit to carry a deadly weapon. Kentucky names their deadly weapons. They have 7 of them. One of them is a firearm. Anything that shoots a projectile. One of the places, it was called House Bill 40 when they was going to pass this law, legislatures. And a bunch of the churches, a bunch of the ministers, I remember it well, we do. They protested. These ministers and church people, and churches have a lot of power. They like that. They like that. They know that they have in their congregations, they've got different peoples from different walks of life, and they have a lot of political influence. And legislators had passed House Bill 40, and it had gone to the governor to be signed into law. The governor wanted to sign. He was from Eastern Kentucky. Yep. He wanted to sign that law, that bill into law for everybody could get a permit to carry a protection.
Carry conceal.
They protested the capital of Kentucky in Frankfort. They were out on the Capitol steps with their signs. "Governor, do not pass this law." The churches, This is church people. Your church people was telling people in their congregations on Sunday, everybody meet, everybody get on them buses. Let's all go to Frankfurt. And that may be where the confusion is at, especially here in Kentucky, because the governor, smart man, said, I'll tell you what we're going to do. He told the church people, he was a politician. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to sign this bill into law, but I'm going to put churches on the list where it's illegal for anybody in Kentucky to carry a gun into a church. I used to tell people in all of our classes, there's 2 places Fred McCoy doesn't carry a gun. That was when we went to church and in a shower. Only 2 places you ever see Fred without a gun, at least one, in church or in a shower. I just didn't think it was right to carry a gun in a church.
Yeah.
God's there. God's going to protect you. God's going to, whatever's going to happen. And I just didn't feel right. I always put it in the glove compartment or underneath the seat before we went in. As soon as I got back out, I usually stuck it back in my pants. But guys, they started having these church shootings and school shootings more and more. The ministers went back to the legislators and they said, we're the first ones at the church. We always unlock the church. We're there. We're right up front. We'd like for you all to amend that bill so ministers can carry guns in the churches.
Because they were getting robbed, weren't they?
They was carrying the offerings, the different things. And it was mostly just the shootings, though, at that time.
Oh, okay.
It was so they changed it, and they said, yeah, ministers can now carry guns. They can get a permit, carry a gun inside their church. About 6 months later, they come back, and they said, well, we've got these deacons.
Okay.
And they carry the offerings. They take up, they're there at Sunday schools. Sometimes the minister don't show up for Sunday school. It's the deacons. And we'd like for the deacons to be able to carry guns in the church. The legislator said, hey, let's just fix it so anybody can carry. Let's just remove churches off the list. So now in Kentucky, what used to be places that you could not carry guns, Kentucky now is a constitutional carry state.
Right.
You don't need a permit now in Kentucky to carry a gun. Constitutional carry. Second Amendment carry. But they removed churches off the list. Sometimes it's a matter of just showing your power, showing your authority, showing your weight. Showing your weight around, what you can get done. They almost got the whole law. They almost got the governor almost didn't sign the bill into law because all the churches, a lot of power in all the churches around Kentucky. I hope they remember this next governor when it comes around, because this next governor says he's running for president. He's the one that was writing tickets, having the state police take their tag numbers for going to church on Sunday mornings. Brought the drag queens. I'm getting off topic, but that's the thing about our videos, and I see you and I feel that knees down here going like a But he did. He brought drag, but you couldn't go to church during COVID. Had state police getting your tag number and so forth. We won't cut this. I know you always do on me, but let's leave this. But I didn't want them to think that it was this governor that passed that. Now, the governor that passed this law, he left office in disgrace because he actually had an affair with a woman that owned a nursing home and had a big sex scandal. And so he went out in a disgrace too, but at least he did get carry concealed passed here in Kentucky. Let's get on with the thing. I can see
topic.
Can you see her face over there? Guys, Sheila and I, we went on to teach classes for churches when they started having these shootings in churches, positioning different people that was armed in the church, different ways they could, somebody in the parking lot that didn't go into the church, that stayed out in their vehicle where they could watch the outside to see if anybody was going in with a gun so they could intercept before they got inside. But even if they got inside where people was positioned in different places, and that's where they go every Sunday, that's where they're at.
Yeah.
And that's why they're there, so they can protect the rest of the sheep. You know, guys, we're going to get back to different things in the book, but there's different targets. We got a chapter now on pretty targets and ugly targets. You know, growing up, you want to have this pretty target. Even in Carry Concealed, people would want to take their target. Sheila would let them take their target with them.
Yeah.
Especially women wanted to take their target home and show their husbands.
Well, they're proud of themselves.
How they could shoot. So Sheila started giving everybody targets. I'd say, babe, we can use the same target over and over. We can put patches and saves us $1. She said, no, they want them targets. Too bad. I'm not worried about that $1. So, and it was a good thing because they enjoyed that. It was.
They really liked it, yeah.
But, you know, when they come in there, and it's okay because they were there to qualify to put the mandatory amount of rounds into the target, which was 11 out of 20.
Right.
Into the target from 21 feet. But they wanted to put them in this little small circle. They wanted to put them all within, you could take
a bullseye.
In the bullseye, or you could take a bottle cap and cover most of them. That's what men do. That's a pretty target. Now, that's okay for a classroom or shooting range. But out here on the street, guys, you want an ugly target. You want an ugly target. You want that target to be peppered all over. What if you didn't? What if you put all them bullets in one bottle cap, but you didn't hit something that person needed? Heart, lungs, kidney, liver, spleen. What if you didn't immobilize him or her and they're still coming? Because you're so used to putting everything in one area. So we teach an ugly target all over. Boom, 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 boom. All over. You shoot 3 or 4 rounds all over. You're hopefully going to hit something that person needs, or that will at least immobilize him so the threat is over.
Right.
We don't shoot to kill. We shoot to stop the attacker. You want him to stop whatever, or her. Nowadays, it's as many hers as him. And that's an ugly target. And that's one of our chapters in that book that we talk about. And that's sometimes, and what Sheila and I figured we'd do, we were just going to talk about the president giving that speech and saying, hey, let's put people in these schools that actually can protect the children. Why would we want everywhere else in the country protected and everybody else carries firearms except in our schools with our most precious things that we have?
They are the most vulnerable at that point, if that makes sense.
Well, they are. I mean, because they know, where are there no guns at? Inside of a school and inside most churches.
And those babies are counting on us to protect them and keep them safe.
And how they must feel when you see what just happened last week again. 100 and some rounds was fired. Now I seen where Chuck Schumer and all these people, we need to outlaw them ARs. We need to outlaw guys. I hate to put it on here, but I'm going to, because we're grown up and we're adults. Do you think they're not using their brain? Because guess what would do more damage than an AR-15? A 12-gauge shotgun. Look, that's 9 bullets with every round. A number 6 shot, a number 5 shot up close. Imagine the little pellets in a classroom. I hate to put this out there, and I'm sorry, but I'm not the first one, surely, to think of this. But people like Chuck Schumer, sorry to get loud.
Yeah.
This is, I'm passionate over this. People like Chuck Schumer, that's not got nothing to do with ARs. That's people that wants to control the American people. They get that today, they get something else tomorrow. It's called control. It's not about the AR. The AR, 1 bullet, 1 person. A shotgun, one shotgun shell, 20 people, eyes and ears. And it may not kill them, but you're going to have. So when they say outlaw the gun, it's not the gun that needs outlawed. If more sane people were armed, the crazy people would get off fewer shots. You know, the media doesn't do it, guys, but they're out there. They're out there all the time if you research. A lot of times in malls and different places, there's shootings.
Yeah.
And there's somebody there that's legally carrying or constitutional carrying, and they save the day.
Yeah.
Do you see that advertised? Do you ever see that in the newspaper on the headline of CNN or NBC or ABC? Not going to see it. They don't want you to see that. That's exculpatory. That's something that you can use, that the gun owner can use to say, hey, look here what happened today.
Mm-hmm.
We got to start using common sense, guys.
The world is
we've got
worse
to.
and worse.
What, babe?
The world is getting worse and worse, and unfortunately, it's coming down to where people are going to have to be prepared, no matter
Before
what.
Sheila and I leave home, keys, wallet, cell phone, and guns. Keys, wallet, cell phone, and guns. That's we got to have keys and get in our vehicle. Get back in. Got to have our wallet for our driver's license and our credentials. Want your wallet for your money and your credentials. Your cell phone, you know you got to have. Can't breathe without your cell phone. And your gun. Evil does not exist within a gun. It exists in the minds and hearts of those who pull the trigger for evil purposes. We got to quit blaming. We got to quit blaming the gun. See, the other day where somebody took a knife and stabbed somebody, but we're not outlawing butcher knives. Look at the Walmart.
Yeah.
The guy in Walmart took a butcher knife off the appliances. Just picked up a big old butcher knife and went around and started stabbing people.
Yeah. Is that where he got that from?
Yeah. Went over to the appliance, as far as I know. I could be wrong. If I have somebody put it in the comments. I don't think he brought the butcher knife in with him. He went to the appliances, utensils.
Dang.
If guns were banned, I'd sure think twice before using one to commit a crime. Said no criminal ever. If guns were banned, well, that'd be too bad. I wouldn't be able to use a gun then. The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. Any of you Marine Corps people out there, that's hanging over the doors at Parasolin. The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. The more you practice with your firearm, and especially if you're a teacher, a custodian, a cook, or somebody that's in charge of protecting our children, the less our little children are going to bleed.
Yep, it's more natural. It'll come more natural to you.
Active shooters. Run, hide,
or fight.
Run, hide, or fight. Run, maybe. A lot of them get shot in the back. Hide, maybe. They're used to looking down underneath the desk. They're used to looking down underneath the tables. They're used to looking in the coat room or in the coat closet. Where else are you going to hide in a classroom? Where else are you going to hide 26 children at? In a classroom. Guys, anywhere you ever go and you see that right there, if you're shopping and you see that sign right there and you've got money in your pocket to spend, there you go. No gun, no money. I'll do my business elsewhere. If you ever go to a business and you see that on the door, go somewhere else and spend your money. If they don't recognize and honor your constitutional right to protect yourself, go somewhere else. You know, I can barely see this. It's been a while since we've looked through this book. It's been a while since we even taught a carry concealed class, but
yeah,
I notice your no guns allowed sign, and I'll respect your wishes by shopping somewhere else.
Yeah.
If you amend your policy to the unlicensed possession of handguns on these premises is prohibited, I will continue to patronize this business. Tell everybody, make sure that the criminal, he doesn't carry his gun in. How are you going to do that without violating somebody's Fourth Amendment rights to illegal search and seizures? You can't search everybody that comes in there. So I'm supposed to go put my gun back in the car. Now, I don't have to worry about it. I'm a retired police officer. I've got a Leosa. I can carry anywhere, anytime. I'm retired.
Right.
But Sheila, as a permit carrier, she has to put hers back in the car if it's a legal place. Now, you can't pay attention to a whole lot of these signs. These signs don't hold water if you don't do certain things. Brandish a weapon, or they know you've got your weapon, and so forth. But what I was wanting to get to here, as a concealed handgun license permit holder, what's that tell a police officer when he pulls you over? Or what's that tell a business owner? Tells the business owner, I've never been convicted of a felony. I'm not ever been convicted of a crime of violence. I don't have a domestic violence order issued against me at this time.
Right.
I'm not a habitual drug user. I'm not a fugitive from justice. And I've had a federal background check. Imagine if a person would look at what that permit that people carries tells you about that person.
The weight it actually carries.
Yeah.
It tells you a lot about a person.
Used to pull people over when law first came out in Kentucky. A lot of cops was, I got a man with a permit. If he's got a permit, what's he usually got? Probably got him a firearm protection. That you couldn't have a better person to pull over. When I walk up on a person, he say, ask for your driver's license. He say, hey, just going to tell you I've got a permit. Okay, fine.
That's good.
Thank you. Glad you can protect yourself.
You already know 5.
Glad you come back, huh, baby?
You already know about 5 different things on him.
That's right.
From the get-go.
Yeah.
You already can say, well, he's not a felony. He doesn't have 2 or more DUIs.
2 or more DUIs.
Violence.
Domestic violence. You've not even run a check on this guy yet.
Yeah.
And by him saying, I've got a permit, you already know. Like Sheila said, he's not a convicted felon. He doesn't have 2 or more DUIs because if he's got 2, they're going to pull his permit. He wouldn't have it.
Right.
He doesn't have a domestic violence, not been arrested or charged or convicted of drug violations.
Right.
Tells you a whole lot about that person. In other words, the only people that's getting their permits is legal Americans that wants to do everything within the law. Do you think that somebody that's a criminal is going to go set to used to be an 8-hour class, 6 now.
6, yeah.
A 6-hour class, pay hard-earned money to get what our forefathers said was free to us. Everybody should have the right to bear arms.
Right.
Now a lot of states is doing that. Constitutional carry. Guys, we've talked about this video long enough. I'm sorry. We wish people would really, really consider protecting themselves. You may be the very person that's near a school until they come to their senses and start letting school teachers and school employees carry and protect our children. Until school board says, hey, the risk, the liability is nothing compared to maybe saving 2 or 3 or 15 children's lives. You know, because they rule on liability. They say, well, what if a teacher was to lay their gun down and a kid got to it and hurt himself? God forbid. Hopefully with the correct training and drilling it into them and getting responsible people, hopefully that would never happen. But we're talking one kid. Not that one's not important. I got to watch my tongue. You got to understand what I'm saying, because everybody on these YouTubers, they're tough. They'll attack you just to attack you, and that's okay. But is it worth taking that chance? Is it worth putting a locker, a safe, and locking it up? They don't have to carry it on them. At least put some in there. At least put one in the principal's office and hope that he's got the kahunas or she to grab it and take off toward the gunfire when it happens, because the old saying, when seconds count, the cops are only minutes away.
Yeah.
When seconds count. And when you're in a school and you boom, 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 and it goes on and on and on. How does it feel for the children that's not even harmed are harmed? They are harmed the rest of their life. Those children are scarred for life. They may be alive, they may be breathing, they may be able to return home to their families.
But they're definitely traumatized.
They're traumatized for the rest of their life because we want to put that sign on the door that says, no guns allowed. If there's guns allowed anywhere, it should be there by qualified and certified
Personnel, yeah.
personnel.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, as long as they got the training and do that every year, and I don't mean just like a little
Do it twice a year, babe. Let's do
little
it.
bit of training. I mean extensive training.
Exactly.
Then
Police officers
they'll
qualify once a year.
Right.
Let's let you guys qualify twice a year just to please everybody.
Yeah.
And keep them on their toes.
Mm-hmm.
Police officers love guns, which most of the people that would do this in a school would be people that shoot regularly. You wouldn't have to qualify twice a year. They're probably going to do it on their own because they're responsible gun owners.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be able to hit their mark if they ever have to.
Never know.
I guarantee you, she's retired now, but I guarantee you if they would have ever allowed it, Sheila, and something happened in her classroom to protect those babies, they would have had they may have got through her. I don't know how. Anything's possible. But she would have fought to the
Done my
last
best, yeah.
for those children.
Yeah.
And there's teachers out there that's in the ground today that tried to do that just hand to hand because they had no protection.
Nothing else, yeah.
Imagine had those teachers and coaches and principals that's now deceased because they were weaponless. Legislators, senators, congressmen, got to get smart. School boards. You know, here in Kentucky, it's left up to the school board. It's left up to the local school board. So if you don't have guns in your school with the principal, with certain people, it don't have to be all teachers. But if you don't have, that's not the legislator's fault. Here in Kentucky, they passed it down to the school board. If a school board wants to have armed teachers or armed principal or armed, they can do it. But they failed to do that because they don't want the liability. We're afraid we'll have an accident. We're afraid a child will get hurt. Guys, they're getting hurt. It's just they're getting hurt, and it's just a game of chance where they're getting hurt at. Is it this school today or that school tomorrow? Which school will it be next week or next month? You got anything, Punk?
No, we just need to be prepared and protect these little ones.
Thanks, guys. You're up, baby.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We hope you're doing well. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one. God bless.
Thanks, guys.